Good day to you. We are working with seating charts with this tutorial a little bit on a step-by-step through PowerSchool. So you're logged in, you see your classes by periods, and we want to develop a seating chart for each of these classes. And so you don't have to click into another spot. We have a handy little icon with a chair on it that does access your seating chart abilities. So you simply click on a class that you'd like to make a seating chart for. It will ask you, would you like to pre-populate the layout? And usually you do not want to because it will place students in alphabetical order. But if you would like a layout like that, then you can click OK. When you hit cancel, it does list your students off on the left-hand side. As you scroll down, you can see each student has been placed in kind of a holder bin is the best way to explain that. And you have a couple of options with this. You can design your seating chart now the way that you would like. So we're going to click on seating chart design, and you're able to place tables and chairs in this setup if you would like. So as I scroll, for example, I can just do it by rows. So I might have 4 rows in my room. I might have 7 seats per row, and it will tell you the total number, and you can say okay, and you're given a grid design with that set up. You do have the ability to move these blocks once you are set up within your room, and you can also set up where particular things are in your room to help a sub. For example, it might be the teacher's desk could be placed in here to show them that's how the seating chart is designed. It might be that you place a door to orient them to the chart if you would like. So you do have those options. First and foremost, though, you have the ability to move these around. So it doesn't have to be in a perfect matrix. If you have centers, for example, for your room, I can click on something, hit the delete key, and get rid of that. Same thing is true for a cell. So in some scenarios, maybe we have a 4-pod set of desks together, but we have empty rows in between. So we can delete these and arrange our room the way that our room actually looks. You can click and drag these also. So maybe you have a design that is unique with the way that your room is laid out. And so you have the ability to move blocks around. And that makes it totally customized and is a great tool for developing this through PowerSchool. So once I've got the design of my room in mind, how do I get my students' faces in the seats? A couple of options for you. You can fill them then from the left-hand side. So I mentioned that these students are kind of in a bucket on the left-hand side for you. So you can do what's populate them. You can click on this and say, hey, put them in alphabetically or alternate male or female or do a random placement of students. Do it from the top left only and click add, and you will have your room filled out. If it does leave empty spaces, it does give you the ability to move students then the way that you would like to have them be moved. So notice it's treating it like an entire room right now that can be adjusted and moved and deleted seats and so on. If you need to remove a student because you want to place them somewhere else, so I might click on the left-hand side, remove somebody, remove another person, and then organize them differently. You do have the ability to click and drag these students from the left-hand side. Finally, you do not have to have blocks to begin with. So to actually speed up your process, if I click on PowerSchool and I go back to my main page and I'm interested in developing a seating chart without setting up my room, that's a possibility too. So I can, I will go to the third class here to show you this really quickly. Don't pre-populate the layout, and I can just have it populate for me randomly, and it will place them in the grid for you. And at this point, you can click and drag particular students. So right now it's treating it as a link, but if I click once and click back on a student, I'm able to move them independently and put together a system that works for my chart. The last very nice thing to know about this is that each of these can be labeled. So if you have a seating chart for the days when you are in class, and you develop another chart for the days when you go to the media center, or on a day when you're doing project work, you can have several different seating charts available to you. You just simply need to name them so that you can pull them up at different times. That's the end of this tutorial. Please contact me if you have any more questions.